And when you open your heart, everything flows. That's the magic of life. We're always looking for magic in some way or another. We're always looking for inspiration and enchantment and creativity and energy and that just that good feeling that sparkles inside of us. And we look for it in all kinds of different ways. And we don't always see that it's right there in opening your heart and opening yourself to love. Because sometimes opening yourself to love, opening your heart is more painful in that moment than we would like it to be. And so we think that, this can't possibly be the source of what I'm looking for. This can't possibly be the thing I'm looking for because it's so uncomfortable. And there's so much pain in the world, and there's so much pain in myself sometimes. Especially when you go around with your heart closed off. You try to protect yourself. You get into your mind and you try to protect yourself from these uncomfortable feelings. But it's the getting into your mind and closing off that actually keeps those feelings alive. And that's why so many of the people that you see who are in pain and who are struggling, they're in their minds. They're closed off. You know, the person down the road is scared to feel, so they're closed off, and then you're scared to be around them because they're closed off, and then it goes around until somebody breaks the cycle and decides, I'm gonna be open to whatever it is. Because you never learn how to get over these humps and these kind of cross the threshold, or so to speak. You never know how to learn how to transition from this kind of contracted state of fear into this more expansive state of acceptance and willingness to feel. You never learn how to do that if you just keep closing off at the first sign of discomfort. And there are certain discomforts and certain ones that can really they really grab us because we get into this defense mechanism, we get into this coping mechanism where we're constantly trying to tiptoe around this feeling, tiptoe around this person who makes us feel a certain way, and we get into our mind and we justify it and we say, oh, they did this thing to me, all those years ago, and they should know better, and I'm doing the best I can, and you say all these things when really, if you want to just break the cycle right then and there, all you have to do is just be open to whatever it is, and you just have to let yourself feel it, no matter how tense it is, no matter how uncomfortable it is. No matter how beautiful it is, no matter how ugly it is, it can be whatever it is. You just have to allow yourself to feel that. And, for me personally, if I didn't have that deeper space within me where I could observe the emotions, observe the thoughts passing through, I don't think it would be possible. Because it wasn't possible for a long time. And I didn't realize that that was what was going on. But I see that now, and that's why I can say these things with confidence. So I experience it and I feel it every single day. And I see the fruits of it by opening up, and I say that it's magic, it's a source of magic. It really truly is. Because life is this beautiful, kind of sparkling, kind of like energy that's always fortifying itself. It's harmonizing itself. It's always healing itself. It's always bringing everything to perspective and bringing people together and cutting out all the nonsense. It's just the life is always refining itself. And, you can't really be a part of that if you're not willing to let it flow through you. You see, so a lot of the time when we open up to life and it starts feeling uncomfortable or starts feeling painful, we think, oh, I better not do that again. But it's not the flow of life that's uncomfortable, it's all the stuff that you build up from resisting it. And so then once everything starts flowing through you again, all the debris and all the kind of the stagnant waters and all these things have been pooling up and building up start flowing through you. And there's a period of time where you might experience a greater sense of pressure. And a lot of the time you're trying to open up to alleviate the pressure you're already feeling, but sometimes opening up can really bring that pressure to the surface. But it's really just an invitation for you to express what it is that you've been holding on to. Sometimes we all have these more kind of poetic, cosmic, loving kind of expressions that we want to side of ourselves that we don't always dare let out. Like we feel like a fool if we were to dance or to laugh for no reason or to act like a child just for the sheer joy of it. To write poetry, or to actually cry or to even just say sorry to that person, even though we feel they wronged us. But there's always that part of us that is not above humility. It's not, doesn't need to hide in pride. It doesn't need to be right all the time. It just wants to see the world harmonize itself. It wants to see relationships improve. It wants to see the fruits of being open to life, a life that's growing and bearing fruit in a myriad of ways. And there's a part of us that no matter how we may try to disguise it, that wants to really be a part of that. We want to participate in the garden of life. We want to participate in the dance of life. We want to be a part of the fun. We don't want to be excluded. And a lot of the time, why we tend to close off and withdraw into ourselves is because we feel excluded. We feel somebody has pushed us away and we say, okay, well, I'm not gonna try that again. I'm not gonna, who needs them anyway? That kind of thing. Whenever we feel rejected. But, when you do that, you actually become the very thing that you didn't want to become in the beginning because then you start excluding yourself. And then you project that onto others and you start excluding others. And then everybody who gets wrapped up in that starts feeling isolated from one another. And what happens is you can go deep enough into that where you start to really relish in those feelings, those moments where you do feel life coming through you. You're like, wow, that's so much more, that's so much nicer than what I had been experiencing. So I want more of that. And that's just life's way of kind of getting in, and it percolates and permeates your exterior until you're really ready to just open up to it. And then you're willing to feel whatever it is because you realize all the fruits and all the things you've ever desired, even the things in your most egoic, selfish kind of states, even those things that you desired, they are being provided to you in a sustainable, natural, holistic way just by you being open to it. You might want $1 million or something, or the most beautiful partner in the world. Well, they'll give you the partner that's right for you. Life is already trying to give you these kind of healthy relationships. It might not give you $1 million, but maybe it'll give you $100. It'll give you what you need. But that $100 is going to be worth so much more to you than $1 million. Because that $1 million you won't be able to appreciate and you'll go and blow it on useless things. That $100 is going to be like gold. It's going to be precious. You're going to budget it. You're going to set it aside. You're going to only spend it on beautiful things that may grow into $1 million someday. Just like, you want the whole fruit tree, so life gives you a fruit seed. And it seems so small in comparison. That seed is going to grow a whole orchard one day. And before it grows that orchard, that physical orchard, it's going to grow an orchard of wisdom and knowledge and love inside of you, which can't be replicated and can never wither. And so that's the magic, being open to love, opening your heart here and now, here and now.